Hey guys, today I'm going to speak about just how complicated things have become in terms of health and fitness. So, if you hear anybody talking about health and fitness these days, it sounds like some old school direct marketing piece, the kind you used to find in the old magazines. You had to cut the coupon and send off. They invariably had catchy headlines like "The Secrets to Six Pack Abs" or proven strategies to dominate your eating, or nowadays it's more likely to be some sort of life hack or shortcuts that's going to do away with your need to hit the gym, do away with any sort of effort or discipline or consistency. So things have moved along a lot since when I first started buying bodybuilding magazines back in 80s Ireland. And it was pretty embarrassing going up to the counter with a bodybuilding magazine back then, I'll tell you. And I think the first ones I got were in 1987, and the covers were a guy called Lee Haney, Schwarzennegger, and a guy called Mike Quinn. Hopefully I've got a picture over here somewhere. And they were really inspirational. But I like the old school stuff. And there was a guy coming out called, I'll get to the old school in a minute, but there was a guy called Dorian Yates in the early 90s, and he just looked massive. He was just huge and so far ahead of his competition. He was just thick everywhere, gigantic muscles. But he used to train very, very briefly, quite a limited number of sets. And he was trained or influenced by the philosophies of a guy called Mike Mentzer. Hopefully I've got a picture of him here. They believed in the philosophy of doing very, very intense sets and very, very short duration workouts, and not that frequently either. I was quite influenced by this, and on my training at the time, I think I was training about 3 times a week. And I started off with, I think it was about 1 plate either side on the squat, so it's about 60 kilos. And in the space of about a year and a half, 2 years, I got up to doing 20 reps with 140 kilos. I think possibly I can get about 5 reps with that now without crushing my brittle bones. But the point, and I worked up to 2 plates either side on bench press and 4 plates on deadlifts. So not for 20 reps. But the point I'm trying to make is that it was incremental progress made on very few exercises, very brief, very intense, training infrequently, and getting the job done and getting out. And now I see so much proliferation of really complicated and esoteric sort of elite level techniques that are being employed by people who really don't need them and do not benefit from them and make no progress because of it. And they're spending a hell of a long time in the gym, wrapping up with bands and cuffs and all sorts of different things. Now there's a time and a place for that, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion. I don't think that the vast majority of people, especially over 40, benefit from that, unless you have some specific injury or need where you need to take the load off your muscles and joints. So, as I say, I was influenced by old school guys like Mike Mentzer, and some of my training involves Olympic weightlifting, in standard sort of deadlifts and powerlifting stuff like deadlifts, squats, and bench, and also some hand balancing and some muscle ups and gymnastic style movements. And for a while I thought that was pretty unique and nobody else was doing it. However, not really. There's nothing new in fitness, and hopefully I'll be able to put some footage of some old time guys. There was one guy in particular called John Grimek, and he entered the Mr. America in the 40s, and they made a rule that you could only enter once and win once, and then it was skedaddle off. You weren't allowed to enter again, because he looked so amazing that they thought he would dominate for the next decade, and they wanted to open up the field and have people compete, so they prevented him from entering again. But he had an amazing physique, but the next day he would go off and he would enter an Olympic lifting competition, and also during the course of his posing routines, I think he'd drop down and do the splits, he could do hand balancing and handstands, and incorporate those into his routines as well. So all of this stuff, so we have lots of tribal divisions now. We have bodybuilding, CrossFit, we have powerlifting, we have Olympic lifting, and then maybe we have, I don't know, Les Mills or aerobic stuff. You name it, there's somebody who's packaged it up, put it out, put it on sale. But it's all to do the same sort of thing. That's all to make you fitter and healthier. And the job of a good coach is obviously to sort of cherry pick the best bits of each discipline and try and incorporate them as appropriate to whoever is in front of them. Okay, but what I'm getting at here is simple gets the job done. And for the vast majority of people who go to the gym and feel they're not making progress and they're wasting their time, one, it's, say you train 5 hours a week and there's 168 hours in the week. So that is 163 hours away from the gym that you have the potential to impact your health and fitness. And I would say that those hours have more influence and impact on your health and fitness than what you do in the gym. That's not to say that what you're doing in the gym shouldn't be better. And I think that less is more. And I definitely recommend that people train less, more intensely, and train the muscle groups more frequently. Ideally, something like a 3-day-a-week split would be absolutely amazing for the vast majority of people who go to the gym. But they don't want to do that. They want to train 5-6 days a week, train with bands and cuffs, and drink the protein powders, and spend a lot of time and a lot of money spinning the wheels and going nowhere. So this was a little bit of a rant about how things have gotten complicated that don't need to be complicated. If you simplify your training, and if you need any help simplifying your training, then get in touch. Hopefully I've left comments, some contact details below in the comments. Okay guys, that's it for today. Cheers, thanks for listening, bye.